I needed to create more ephemera, so I took a masterboard that we've already created, and for Masterboard Monday this week, I decided to cut it up and make these cool vintage tags. Grab your stuff, let's make some tags. Hi, I'm Christine, the artist behind Alyssa Designs, and it's Masterboard Monday. Welcome. Hi everyone. Okay, today I'm going to use my little tag template here. I've already gone ahead and traced this out, and I ended up having a few extras, so I'll do a couple of these here. But the reason why I'm doing this today is because I'm so far behind on creating tags and ephemera from my masterboards. So instead of doing an actual masterboard today, I'm going to use my masterboards to create something. So tags it is. And I wanted to do some really springy, pretty tags. So I'm going to go cut these. I'm just going to hand cut these, and that might mean that some of them are going to be slightly off. They won't be perfect, but that's okay. I don't mind that. They're handmade. And honestly, I don't get them perfect when I use the guillotine anyway. So I'm going to try and get these as close as I can to all being the same. But that's it. I'm going to go cut these out, and then I'll come back and we'll decorate them. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of the large tags. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the smaller tags, and I ended up with a little belly band for something later. So now I have these two sets with washi tape and some stickers and some little background papers, and I'm going to use these today to create a little set of springy tags. So kind of a vintage spring look. So I'm going to lay these out. I'm going to work on these larger ones first and just kind of start putting things down. I got them pretty straight. I'm surprised. I did use, so this is the original tag that I created the template from. So I just went back and laid it on top and made sure that everything's pretty straight. So they're all about the same, and I'll use this as a template to punch the holes. I just think it's easier to lay them out like this, and then that way I can see all of them as I create, and I'm not just doing one tag at a time. This is so much faster because, I mean, this is similar to the way I do the, actually I might lay these out too. Since we're doing that, I have a little space to work down here. And I'll push this back, so there. That's what I love about these tiles on my workspace. I could just move the whole thing. Okay, so now I'm going to take out some vintage papers and start laying them on what I already have here. I have a bunch of these little containers too. They all go into one large container, so I've labeled them. But my friends have sent me so many. Some of these I bought, and some of them I've been collecting from my little collage group. So I'm going to look for, here's papers. There's some little vintage papers in here. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm just going to grab a few that I think will be good for this project. Maybe that. Some of these are stickers and some of them are papers. That's pretty. I love this, but I have a plan for this one. That's pretty. We'll use one, save one. I have such a hard time letting these go because they're all so pretty. Ooh, that's nice. I wonder if that will, yeah, I'll be able to get a good piece out of that. Okay, there's a few of those. I have a lot more. I'm not sure where I got these. I don't really want this because it's not very springy. Here's something very springy. And I love that they give you two because I can use one and then save one. This one's a little wrinkled, so let's take that one because I'm going to tear these up. Ooh, there's some stamps down here. That one's pretty. This is cool. All right, so just so I have an idea, well, we have to do a mushroom one, so let's take one of those. Just so I have an idea of what's in here, so I don't want to take everything out. This is cool. I'll take one and leave one. And then these larger papers back here. Let's do this one is pretty. They're all pretty, but I'm just grabbing what catches my attention without my glasses on. So there's that. Let's get started with these. I also have a little dictionary page here that I tore out and a little scrap from my project that I was working on the other day, so we'll tear that up and use it as well. This is cool. It's got a bunch of discoloration in it. This is a real old dictionary. So let's just start tearing and gluing layers. That's what I want to do. And I want to do some of these larger papers. Is that going to be long enough? I'm probably not going to cut a lot here. I just want to layer some of these, and yeah, and then I'll trim them. I hate to take the top of that off. Let me think about that one for a minute. But on the other hand, I'm going to tear this part off. I mean, this is the easiest way for me to get started on stuff like this, is just to start tearing stuff and gluing it down. So we'll really see if this Scotch glue is all that. So what did everybody do this weekend? I worked in my glue book, which was very fun and relaxing. I really enjoyed it. So my daughter moved out this weekend with Skylar. So they are no longer here all the time, and now I will have to go visit them. And the cool thing is that they live right down the street from my other daughter. So now I can visit both families at the same time. So that's cool. So this weekend I just kind of reorganized and I'm just kind of putting things back together and getting used to a new schedule because, you know, without baby here getting ready for school in the morning, it's much more quiet. I still have the dog for a little while, but yeah, before I would wake up, and you know that those of you who have children now or have had children, you know that that's a hairy time of the day, trying to wake up the baby who's got so much energy. She loves to stay up late. It's really difficult to get her to go to bed at night. She's just always got things to do, and not to mention she and Grandpa Bob are fast friends, so when Grandpa's home in the evening, she just wanted to stay up with him all night. So now hopefully everybody will be in a better routine, and yeah, I really enjoyed my time with them here. But I do think it's going to help me stay in a better routine. I'm not going to be constantly cleaning up after, you know, after Skylar. Well, I might. It just won't be cleaning up in this house. And yeah, so a new era begins. And it's not like they're not going to come over here and stay over that night for the weekend from time to time. So she'll be around for sure. She's loving her new bedroom. Mommy went and got her all kinds of fun new decor, and she got to pick it all out. So she was very excited about that and FaceTimed me yesterday to show me all the new stuff. So I'll give them a little time to kind of get organized and then probably go over and help her a little bit, because I'm the organizer in the family. I love everything being neat and in the right place. Poor old Grandpa Bob doesn't know where anything in his house is. So I try, and he can't find anything. So I try and get him used to where things belong. And there are certain places he knows if I'm not around, these are the places you look first. So I probably will go over and help her. And my other daughter moved recently into her house, and I stopped by the other day, and yeah, she definitely needs help too. it's hard, I know, to move with children and dogs, and still have to work and still have to get everyone to school on time and try and figure out where all the things go after you've lived in a house, and now you have to start all over with you. It took me years. So Bob and I have been together for 16 years, 15 years, I think. I'm not sure. We've been together for a while, and we only got to live in the house alone together for a very short period of time. I think it was the first time we were ever in the house together alone. And then my daughter moved in with Skylar. So I had just started organizing my house and putting all my stuff in my house organized without having other people and sharing space. And then almost immediately after I got a new routine and everything straightened out and organized, they moved in, which was fine. We made it work. It was very nice. I think she's been here about 2 years. But I get to do that again and kind of spread out and not be so packed in, because as an artist and journaler, you like to keep stuff. I like to keep stuff because it's so fun to create. Yeah, I think I'll do that like what I just did, and I'll bring it down a little bit so that, perfect. Good idea. Yeah, I like to reuse things. I don't like to throw things away. But I also like to have plenty of space and not have things too cluttered, and it's hard to do when you're sharing space with a bunch of other people. So now I'll get to go through my stuff and reorganize. So that's fun, and I'm just doing it a little at a time, because the good thing, there's good and bad. I loved seeing Skylar come in from school every day, so I definitely will miss that. It was funny because she either walked in like the world was ending, or super happy. Sometimes Alyssa would pick her up from school right after her nap ended, and she's not a happy girl after nap time. So she would walk in with this look on her face like, don't talk to me. But she'd always wake up and almost, we say our dogs have the zoomies. My granddaughter had the zoomies. She just gets fired up and excited and just runs all over the place. And, we're all looking at each other like, what happened? She was so mellow when she got home and cranky, and now she's laughing and giggling and running around and jumping, and can't get her to stop. So it's very quiet around here. Sometimes I think that you end up having more time. That's what I hope. I hope I end up having more time to spend with them now that I'm not so worried about keeping up my house, because I have people in and out of my house, and I hate when somebody comes over and my house is upside down. It gives me anxiety. I can't create in a messy space. I say that right now, and my space is, I've said that I organized it, and I'm still not done with my art room. It's a constant battle, and it's a lot better. It's just such a tiny little space, and I'm so grateful to have it, because I do watch other channels where they're working on their dining room table. I don't know how people do that, but you do what you got to do. I used to do that too when I was doing scrapbooking for people. When scrapbooking was really, let me zoom out. Oh, I can't zoom out anymore. Okay. Just trying to get it where you could see a little bit better, so I'm not doing it way down there at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, so when scrapbooking was big and everybody wanted a scrapbook, but not everybody's creative and not everybody enjoys this process. So I had this little grid that people could fill out and attach. I would have them number their photos, and then on this grid page, they would write a little summary, very short summary of what it was and who was in the photos and when the photo was taken, and anything, any special instructions. But to some extent, they just had to trust me, and I would just follow this grid and the labels and create a scrapbook for them. And I really enjoyed that. And a lot of people have scrapbooks today that were created by me that will get passed down. I loved it. And this is such a similar process, but it's so much more different than the creative memory days. Who remembers creative memories? I was a part of that for a little while, but I just like to collect things. I didn't do very well at selling them. And I have a ton of creative memories stuff still. And now, to me, it looks so old. But I'm trying to go through and use a lot of it. Let me bring this down so I don't lose that flower. These are going to be so pretty, I think. Yes, yes, yes. This stuff is very sticky. I need to get my alcohol rag out so I can keep wiping my fingers. Although it is useful when you go to pick these things up. Let me see here. How am I going to do this? I think I'm going to bring this in a little bit this way and not bring it to the edge. Let's just try something new here. Is that straight? Not really, but the whole thing is not straight, so we'll have to add something on top of there. I'm going to go ahead and tear this off and just stick it on somewhere else. Yep, see, even that little tiny little scrap does something. I don't know that I'll use this. This doesn't really have, well, it's kind of cool. Let's see. I'll stick it over here. I might have to cover up a little spot. Okay, so how many do we have that I've got? Oh, I put something on every, oh, this one I gotta glue on. We'll go back to the small ones later. So yeah, I'm hoping I don't run out of masterboards to create. I don't think that's possible. But today I was thinking, what am I going to do for Masterboard Monday? And I have all these masterboards that I've created. And because I'm only doing the masterboards on Mondays and I don't necessarily complete them on Thursdays, I thought, you know what, let me start doing some of my Masterboard Mondays where I show you what I do with my masterboards. So some masterboards on Mondays will be I'm just going to rip this in half and see what happens. That's cool. Some masterboards, I'll just do the masterboard on Mondays, and some of them I will complete on Masterboard Monday. I think that's a good change. It gives me a lot more options, and I'll get things done quicker, because part of this YouTube channel is not just to create a YouTube channel and show my process, but also because it helps me get things done. It gives me a reason to take everything out and get it done, and then that way I can create things to put on the website. These tags will probably end up on the website. You know, some of them I use in my swaps, but for the most part I'm trying to fill up my website and kind of take out some of, you know, like get some of the work that some of you don't enjoy doing. Like I have friends that are junk journalers or art journal. I guess you would call it an art journal, since you're not, you know, if you're not just using all junk. But I have some friends that just don't like doing this part of it, but they love the ephemera. So, and I really enjoy making the ephemera, and then a lot of times I don't use them in my books. So, you know, there's all different kinds of people. So if you love ephemera and you love things that are handmade and not just bought, with all the layers and something that nobody else has, then this is for you. Okay. I'm going to try some of these. These are stickers. I probably should have put these on before. Maybe if I do this and then this, it will be... Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to go for it. I'm not sure how sticky this thing... Ah, I got it on crooked. I can't do that. I'd rather peel this off and throw it away than leave it like that. That's better. I should probably glue that too. I like to glue my stickers sometimes if they're not like really sticky. Yeah, and who remembers Aleene's craft show? I used to love that. When was that? In the 90s? I used to watch... I can't remember what that show was called, but I used to watch that and Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart had a really good craft and decorating and cooking. Like, she had everything, right? That's cool. I really like this. See, a little bit of scrapbooky paper Little papers go a long way. You could literally just use all your scraps for this. This one's cool. I like that. I don't like it crooked like that, but there. I like that better. These are gonna be so cool. Let me add a little of that to this. See, this one sheet I think is on 4 or 5 different. No, I could do this or I could do this. I think I'll do this, but I need something. Well, we can add something there after. So I have to remember that this is not just, we're going to add stickers and stuff on top. So it's not just these papers. I'm going to also, so if there's any little areas, like I don't like straight lines showing. I like to put things on top of the straight lines. Whoops. I just blew my papers away. So you don't have to cover everything with this layer. Uh-oh, which one was this one? I forgot what I was doing. I'm going to lay this on the edge. I don't want that line there. There we go. All right, I think these are looking pretty good. I like this here. I didn't even use any of my dictionary paper yet, or that other paper, but I don't think I really need to. Oh, look, Derby. The Kentucky Derby was this weekend, I believe. That's kind of cool that just showed up there. Let's put it in here. I heard, what was the golden, I forget, golden something came from like 19th place. And Renegade was the favorite and went right past Renegade and won. I think that's what I'm hearing. I gotta go back and look and see. I wanted to watch it, but I forgot. And then I see all my friends on Facebook at derby parties. I missed it. I never got the opportunity to spend a lot of time around horses, but I do love them. And I really kind of hope one day I will, maybe I'll have, Bob and I plan to get a property at some point, and I've always thought, because my daughter loves horses so much, that I would love to have a few horses on my property for my daughter and my grandkids. And, I think it's a great way to teach the grandbabies responsibility. And my daughter would just love jumping on a horse every day and taking some time to herself. I would love to give that to my family. Plus, they're just like big dogs. They're so smart, and so I'm just amazed every time I have been around horses how they almost like talk to you. Let's see what this looks like. They're so curious. When we go away to North Florida, on the way into the property, there's a couple of horses that we always stop and say hi to. And they come right up to the fence. And they're so excited to see someone stop by and say hi. You never know what the future will bring. I'd love to have my art studio right next to the stable so I can see my family every day. And yeah, I'm definitely a dreamer. And I'm not set on any specific life in the future. That's my goal right now, is to retire and buy a piece of property. But you know, whatever life brings, as long as there's some creativity in it, I'm good. I think I'm gonna take a break here and take a look at what I've got so far. Yeah, that's the perfect spot right there. And I'm gonna trim these up, which you don't really, I'm just gonna take the scissors and go around. I'll do one now. You get the point. I'm just gonna trim each one up and pull out my stickers. And I will come back, because that's boring. You don't want to watch me sit here cutting all of these, right? Cool. I have now some washi tape that I'm going to add in here. And I should probably use a little bit of glue, because this washi tape sometimes peels later. But I want to add a little more color to some of these. And I'm just going to stick it on in random places. I found two that I really like. We've gotten a lot of rain here the last couple of days, and it's making me so tired. Yesterday, it was pouring for hours, and I stopped working on these to go get a little lunch. I'm going to do the rose one on here since there's some roses already. And I got busy on some other stuff, cleaning, and before I realized it, the sun was going down, and I thought, well, I guess I'm not going to get my video done today. And finally just relaxed and went to bed a little bit early. And then I've had I had an appointment this morning, so I had to get up early, but since then, I've had a very slow day. Let's see where I'm going to put this. Yeah. And I've had a hard time getting going. But I walked in and I saw these sitting here and I thought, cool, I can finish them. Oh, and yesterday I finally got my journal back, my traveling journal. We were supposed to get them back in December, somewhere around December, early January. And we had a little snafu. But I finally got mine back yesterday, and I did a quick flip through because I want to do a flip through on camera. And it is just amazing. I'm so excited that I get to keep, I believe there were 9 of us all together. There's one that doesn't have, there's one person that dropped out, and then including me, so I think there's 7 pages, 7 different people that created in the book. And oh my gosh, the stuff that's in there is amazing. I'm so excited. Let me see if there's another different one that I can use. Oh, this one's pretty for that. Let's see, what else do we have? I have these two. I kind of like this one. Oh, that's going to be good for that one. I like that yellow. I think the yellow for that, but let me see if there's some sunflowers in here in this one. These are so amazing. I can't wait to use those. Let me see what these are. Oh, the garbage truck's outside. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's use that. I like it. This one's really cool. It's thinner, and I got all this glue on here now, but oh well. I really want to do this. Maybe I'll do 2 side by side. Oh, this is different. I think you have to peel this washi tape. Here we go. That might be a little long. I like that though. Yep, that's cool. A little different. Okay, where's that yellow one? That was really pretty. It's a little crooked. Let me see if I can pull that up and straighten it out. That's better. I like that you could still see the writing underneath. Which way does this go? This way. And you got a little glue on there. All right, that's cool. I kind of also, I love this oval thing, but I don't really want it to be completely oval in that spot. I don't really know what I'm trying to explain, I guess. I just want to take a little off of that there. Kind of not have the oval be right on top of everything. I might want to add a little more, but let's see on the next layer. I like to do things in layers like this. Okay, this definitely needs some color. I do like this black and white kind of, the darker. All right, I'm going to go with it. That's cool. I might add more color and then the next layer. So the next layer, I'm just going to do some stickers and one more. I don't know why I did that. I picked up the wrong one. Okay, now which one looks best? I love this one because it's colorful. Oh, I like this because there's pink in it. So let's do a little. I'm going to do kind of a large piece here. We'll do it this way. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, let me go clean up a little bit and I will come back with my stickers. Okay, I got my punch to make the little circles for here. And then I got all of this stuff to finish these off. So I think that's going to be enough. Maybe. I'm going to just lace them out and play around. I have a really hard time covering things up once they're on here. So, sometimes I watch people and they just cover most of their designs up and I'm like, no. Right, but and I have to remember that the hole is going to go somewhere over here. So again, she's pretty cool. Right, I like this one. That's a yes. I kind of like this one, although she does definitely need something else. So let's see. Oh, that looks cool. I'll put that down there. Oh, he's cute. Okay, but I don't have any more mushrooms, so mushroom tags. I do kind of like him though. I'm thinking, that's cute. Here's a butterfly. I'm sure one of these would look great with a butterfly. I like this. That's cool. Let's see. This is the fun part, just peeling and sticking stickers. Oh, I love this. Well, actually, now I'm looking at it. I like the color in this bird. Ugh, I have the hardest time peeling this stuff up. And I've forgotten to glue these, but I'll watch them for a few days and see if anything's going to come up. Let's put you right here. Well, should I put it here? Put it right here. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Okay, next. Oh my gosh. This one's definitely getting this frog. Yep. Love him. So I cannot wait to do a flip through of the journal. And as soon as I get this video done, I'll do a flip through and come back and show you all the beautiful designs that these ladies created. The pages, they're just so beautiful. And I love that each person just has a completely different style. And it's funny because as we were creating these and passing them around, you know, it was just a giant circle of mailing journals to the next person. It's interesting because you start to learn each person's style. So there were only a couple of pages that I had to look and I thought, oh wait, who did this? Because now I can pick out their pages immediately. I really like that on there. So, okay, I'm going to go work on these a little bit more. I'm almost done with them, and I'm going to punch out the circles for the top and the holes, and I'll come back and show you all of them because I think that this is going to take a minute, and you've already seen the process. So I will be back to show you the final tags. So I pretty much got these where I want them, and then, you know, I always kind of leave them where they're feeling a little bit unfinished, because whether someone buys a set of these or I go back and use them, or maybe I give them away to someone, when you go to actually put them in a page, I like to go and add a little something that goes along with my page. So sometimes these intentionally aren't completely finished so that you can make it look like more of the page that you're working on. That makes sense. So if I'm working on a page and I want a vintage style, but I have a little orange in the color, or you know, my blues, then I can go in and add one thing. Or if I'm doing something with a specific theme, I can go back in and add something that goes along with that theme. So then that tag doesn't just look like something that I stuck on the page. It looks more intentional. So if you ever purchase a set of these, you know, I intend for you to go back and add a little something to make it look more like yours. But the bulk of the work is done. So, as I said, some people don't like this process. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on how smoothly things go. Okay, I'm going to punch the holes in these now. And I just use this upside down like this. And I like this one because Skylar took off the part that catches the circles, so I can see about where the hole is going to be punched, and then it's easier to get it in the center. And I'll be back to finish these off. Okay, here they are. I like that butterfly there. And he looks like the kid that used to deliver newspapers in my neighborhood. So I thought that was cool. This one's a little busy, but again, when you're doing a page of your own, you can add, or if I do this, use this, I can add a little something on top of the busyness, or I can use this side too. And of course, these are all from the charts that I like to use. I like that I took out some of the oval and it's kind of in the background. And this one's kind of plain as well. I'm still bummed about that flower, but okay. And I love that bird. I love the top of this, and I just thought it matched that really well. This is one of my favorites. I like it. She's cool. Like a walk from school or to school. I like her. I love the little froggy there. So cute. And then this one. I like this one too. I like this one better, but I loved that piece of paper there. So that's it. That is the set of tags I made from the masterboard that we created, I think, it was a couple Mondays ago, but there it is. And I will do this more often. Sometimes I'll just do the masterboard, sometimes I'll complete it, sometimes I'll just pull out a masterboard that we created before and then finish it. But I'm pretty happy with this project. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'd love to know if you create your own tags. Let me know in the comments below and tag me on social media so I can see what you've created. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and check on my website because eventually some of these will end up on the website for sale. So if you see something you like here, you may be able to get it for yourself and support me in my journey. So I hope you all have a crafty and creative week, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.